back in the day. Well, not that far back, like 2008. I was fresh on the scene and ready to have fun, so I settled on in LA June Pentagon. Just a year before the SWAT had gone and won it all, but we 7-5, so Chick-fil-A made a call. My boy JJ showed out, tried to get him throwed out, but now Les Miles got that red carpet rolled out. 21-1 and we going dumb. Met this dude way back, we was beating on them drum in that golden band from Tigerland. Touchdown, see Mike do it with one hand. Little purple live gold, that's what we always been told. Every team try to step, but LSU ain't never fold. Now it's our time, no, the city gon' shine. Don't care about no final, got the Knights on my mind.
You know I had to break y'all off with a new dance, but this time it ain't the pencil with it, and it ain't the swipe the ID, cause this is football season, y'all.
Hit him with that Les Miles.
Grass with it, eat grass with it, eat grass with it.
Lee, baby.
Throw a pass with it, throw a pass with it, throw a pass, throw a pass, throw a
That
pass.
Jefferson now.
Now run the option, run the option, run the option, run the option, run the
Money back,
option,
they
run the
don't
option.
care.
Now take the ball away, take the ball away. Now take the ball away.
One Team Media.
We showed you what the GOAT was last year when we beat y'all 50-7.
Let's go! One team!
Relax, big boy.
Team One Podcast?
One Team One Podcast?
Yeah, they did a good job.
Really good job.
Yeah. Why is he so fat?
One Team One Podcast. One Team One Podcast. One Team One Podcast.
Fat.
One
Team One Podcast.
Welcome back, One Team One Podcast, episode 91.
Braden Fahoko.
Oh, God damn it.
Gotcha.
91. Who else is number 91?
There was someone.
Another fat guy.
Yeah, another fat guy.
Braden wasn't fat.
What are we going to do when we get to 100?
Or
We're gonna
Start over.
We're gonna go.
So we're going
crazy.
to go back to
Zero.
No, back
Yeah,
to zero.
zero
Mason
is
Smith.
Mason Smith.
I already got it.
Jamar Chase.
Yep.
1. Eddie Kinnison, 2. All right,
Relax.
so 91. I think episode 100, it needs to be, we're going to do live at Fred's.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I'm all
It's a
in
great
for that.
idea.
Okay, so
I
we'll talk
was
to May
saying
and get that
we
right now.
invite everyone who has ever been
on the
associated with-
podcast.
mentioned on the podcast.
It'll be a 5-hour show.
Yeah.
Live.
All day.
100-hour show. A 100-hour.
We're going to have game day stakes and everything.
Yeah.
The first 100-hour podcast.
So episode 91, Mississippi State week, SEC week, big week for us, LSU week. Only 4 of us in the podcast tonight. Sam has got car trouble, is coming up here, so you may see Sam walk in front of the camera in a few minutes.
Jude's being a nerd.
Jude's a nerd. Well, where is he at today?
He
SI.
says SI. Yes.
What is that again?
Supplemental instruction. It's the only way
It's
you
a-
can pass accounting. so I
Can
get
vouch
it.
for him. I had to do it for a couple classes
Yeah.
because if you did not go to
Dude,
it, you
I
were
failed-
not going to do well.
Let
in
me
the
tell you an
class.
accounting story. I took accounting in college. I was literally working at a bank at the time. But debits and credits to me were the opposite to the accounting class.
Okay.
So I was fucked from the very beginning.
Mm.
Like I could never understand when they were saying debits and credits that like we were the opposites of each other. And I didn't understand it. And once I didn't get that, I was never going to get the rest of it. So anyway, big
You
show
need an
tonight.
SI.
Yeah, we didn't have that then. We just had probation, is academic probation. Big show tonight. We have Patrick Michelson is going to be joining us in a second. A Mississippi State alum, Patrick Michelson. So he'll be joining us in just a second. Justin Hillhouse, another Mississippi State alum, big Mississippi State fan, is going to be
I
joining
don't think
us.
Justin's joining.
Oh, he's not going to.
I think that's what he just said.
Okay, so but we will have Steven Stingray joining us probably at about 7:00. He'll be coming on in about an hour, and we all know who Stingray is, Paul Feinbaum alum. So big Mississippi State fan, big weather guy,
Huge weather guy.
Huge.
huge
Weather
guy.
enthusiast, yep.
Yeah,
Tornado.
we got a lot of weather questions for
Yeah.
Stingray
Who
coming
doesn't-
up
who
here.
doesn't love a good storm?
I know.
So
he is
fascinating.
so have you ever seen his lives when he goes live
Yeah.
with tornado watches and stuff? It's fantastic.
It's exhilarating.
It's great social media.
Yeah.
So we'll have Stingray coming on in a little bit. All right, so let's talk about Mississippi State week. Obviously, Derek Stingley news. I woke up this morning with like 20 DMs about
Breaking news.
Thank you. Great job. William is on the he's on the mixer right now,
Oh,
doing
yeah.
a fantastic job.
Interim producer.
Yeah, that's right. You just come in like you own it. Yeah, Derek Stingley news. I woke up to a whole bunch of DMs. What's going on with his injury? All I had heard is that it was a minor injury. It was a non-contact injury, left practice. Nobody really knew if he was going to play or not. Apparently, the word came down just right before we came on that he is out against Mississippi State. I've heard a couple of things like it was maybe like a quad or maybe a re-injury of his foot. I don't really even know what it is. What are y'all's thoughts going into Mississippi State week before we even get started on like Stingley being out again, another year without Stingley?
Why does everybody hate Derek Stingley?
There was a lot of hate. There was a lot of
Derek
venom
Stingley.
today after hearing
Everyone
this.
just assumed.
Everybody
when
just
he was
assumed
out,
that it was an opt-out
Yeah.
situation.
A lot of it is because of the situation last year, probably with Jamar opting out.
Sure.
That's probably a lot to do with the hate, and it's not deserving on Derek's end. And he's going to be a first round draft pick, but at the same time, people are like, we haven't maybe gotten so much from him since we won the national championship. That season, he was an absolute stud, and kind of last year he fell off, but it was because he had a pretty significant injury. He was battling through the entire season, and then fast forward to now, and he's got another injury, and that's just the name of the game. Football is a violent sport, and people seeing him injured, and they're like, oh, we're not going to get production out of this kid, and he's going to be gone at the end of the season. You have that negative outlook on it, but at the same time, you need to root for the kid.
Oh, I saw a lot of, okay, is this a real injury, or is it I'm just going to say I'm injured for a few games here and there during the season, so I don't have to play as much this year. I saw a lot of that today on social media, and it's like, wow.
No, pridefully, I would say 100% Derek wants to play. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Especially in SEC play, he still needs to put on film good tape.
Yeah.
Being a top 5, even top 10 pick is not locked up yet for him. And being a first rounder is locked up, but not being a top 10 pick. So he does need more tape. So I know pridefully he as a person wants to play in this game, but for his career, it's probably not a smart move.
But even before this injury, I think like people were just so quick. I heard Hunt Palmer was saying this the other day. Just every time he made some sort of mistake on the field, people were so quick to be like, "Oh, he's soft. He doesn't play hard." All that kind of shit.
I think that might be the UCLA. There was one tackle at
I mean,
UCLA.
That UCLA where
he missed a handful of tackles that game, no doubt.
Yeah,
but it's just like it's nitpicking.
Patrick Peterson missed a tackle on Sunday. It happens. Like,
it's cool. Like
Central Michigan, it looked like a different player to me.
Yeah,
it looked like he was very aggressive. He was making tackles. He was breaking through the line, running, coming up on a run really hard, like he hadn't been before.
He looked confident.
He really did. The whole team looked confident.
He had a fumble, or he forced a fumble.
Dude, he fucking blew that guy up.
Yeah. Forced a fumble touchdown by Andre Anthony.
Yeah.
Sorry about that news in season ending.
Oh, that was terrible.
No, when I went back and watched that play today, I was like, well, fuck. Like, we don't have either of these guys anymore.
Right. I was just thinking more about, like, okay, Stingley, this is a game that's been circled, I would assume, by Ed Ogeron on the calendar all season, right? Like, we are not going to make the same mistake that we made against Mississippi State last year.
What did we give up? 600 yards passing?
623.
Yeah, 620. Yeah,
that's nightmare the other night.
I'll bet the under on that.
Okay. All right.
I'll take the under.
Yeah, take the under. But I even heard, like, all right, so Durante came in, and that was one of the first films that they watched was Mississippi State. And, like, how are you going to guard Mississippi State, Durante? And they've been focusing on this game for so long. That's why I was thinking, okay, if this is a minor injury, this guy's going to play. Like, Stingley's going to at least give it a go because this is such a big game for LSU to kind of like prove the haters wrong. So to hear that he's out is kind of disappointing in my opinion. And obviously it could be because he really can't give it a go. But I would like to see him suit up and try.
I think
if he can't go in like pregame, I get it. But
I think if he's being ruled out now, it's because they know him playing is going to risk further injury and him missing more games.
Yeah.
So they're
Which
making
is the problem, right?
because they're always going to err on playing a player if he's better than 90%.
Right.
But if they're holding him out this soon and this early, and if it's public knowledge, that means the injury could be made more severe, in my opinion.
Right.
And they're going to protect the player. And Coach O is always going to do that, and he's going to he'll play, against Auburn. That's what this is. They're making sure that he can play against Auburn more than likely.
So McLaughlin probably fills in.
Well, I absolutely love that. Right? Like I love Dwight McLaughlin.
I don't love it.
I love it. I love this kid. I think.
I like
all right,
Stingley.
Here's what I tweeted earlier, and it was more. I think I was immediately just pissed off when I heard the news, and was just like, okay. Here we go again, 2020 stuff, drama. The people are out or whatever. And honestly, the kid's. I'm sure. I know he's hurt, and like, that's that issue.
Yeah,
but you start as a fan.
I'm sick of that narrative. I'm just done with it.
Which part?
The he's a bitch kind of shit.
Right. And
I'm done with that.
I agree with that. And but I immediately as a fan, I'm just like, look, I'm ready to see some kids that are young and hungry play. That's all I was thinking. And I was thinking, okay, so if Stingley's out, we have Ricks. We know Ricks is a dog.
Obviously.
Dwight McLaughlin at the end of the last year, he was a dog.
Yeah.
I wanted to see him play
he was
more.
A completely different player, for
right.
sure.
I want to see, and we keep hearing about Emory. Emory could be a game time decision if the NCAA approves his waiver, and he's been getting all this playing time. I'm actually done with it. I want to see Kiner. And I want to see Goodwin. I want to see Kiner and Goodwin. I want to see Jack Beshmore. I want to see these guys who are young, hungry, who are just – I know they're dogs. I just know they are. I'm ready to see these guys that we didn't see against Mississippi State last year. I'm ready to see these guys just go wreck house.
And I want to see that fast-paced risk offense that we ran.
Tempo.
And I want to see us not stop doing it because I felt like in the second quarter we actually stopped already.
Warp.
Yeah, just warp all day. I was screaming in the stadium like
I know.
nuts.
I was actually like I was calling somebody the other day, and I was about to it was a sales call, and I hang up the phone, and I'm like, okay, I need to call this other guy. And I'm like, warp in my head, like, no, we got to go fast this week.
And that allowed our offense to. Central Michigan didn't have an answer early on for that. They looked a little better later on in the game. They got used to it, but at the same time, it made Max Johnson look so much more comfortable,
confident.
Mm-hmm.
He was dictating. The offense was dictating to the defense. He knew what he was running. He didn't have to change it at the line, confuse himself. I think that makes the world of difference.
It made it a reaction game as opposed to a lot of times we get trapped as athletes in thinking too much about things. You can do it as a pitcher. You can do it as a hitter in baseball. You can do it as a quarterback. Right. And him being able to react to each and every situation allowed him to play so much better. I forgot how many yards he had, but he had his best game of the season by far.
Right. Yeah. It's actually, I said something last week about Max just against McNeese. I felt like he just needed to go out there and just play. He's overthinking everything. And I think when we ran this faster pace, he was able to just, play football.
Yep.
That's how it felt to me.
Okay.
All right. So we are going to go to our first guest of the night, Patrick Michelson with Bank of England Mortgage. Patrick, get off your fucking phone. I want to talk to you. Patrick, me and Patrick are childhood friends here. Bank of England Mortgage, been a great sponsor of the podcast. We appreciate all of your support. Mississippi State alum, right?
Yeah. Really?
Yes. Mississippi State. This is why we're bringing him on right here. He's going to talk a lot of trash, but I know you're a big LSU fan. Your dad played at LSU, for crying out loud. So are you tied up this week? How are you feeling this week?
Man, I'm not really tied up when it comes to LSU football. Dad, uncle, and grandfather played at LSU. So, it's one of those things where even when I was at State, in the middle of, the stadium watching LSU versus State was still all LSU. Baseball's a different thing just because I've got respect for their program. Right. Compared to the garbage LSU's become. States run. Hey, dude, if you're a baseball guy and you know baseball, that's
sounds like we're gonna have a Starkville trip in our midst.
By the way, Starkville and your local Baton Rouge radio host said, "Oh, Starkville's a cow town." Dude, Starkville's a lot cooler than people think it is. It's what you make of it.
When in the '90s, it sucked.
Agreed. When I was I was in Starkville a year ago, and if Starkville looked anything like it does now when I was there,
Okay.
we could have had a lot more trouble. The reason my parents wanted me up there would have probably not have been as much as they didn't want me in Baton Rouge at that point.
Right,
But
right.
dude, Starkville's a lot of fun. Honestly, the junction, the tailgating. If you
Okay.
take your wife or your girlfriend, I recommend Costas or some Ray-Bans, something with mirrors. I mean, the talent levels increase there, and not talking about the football team. You know what I mean? So,
I hear you.
you know. Anyway, I just get off of that because they talk like Starkville is the last cow town with trailers, and it's actually gotten pretty cool nowadays.
Well,
So.
we are going to get into our best Starkville jokes in just a little while.
I bring the. I love those now. Bring those on.
No,
You
yeah,
know,
well, Skip made those popular. So.
absolutely, because him and Ron Poker were buddies, man. So
That's
that
right.
was their thing. Yeah, no
what
doubt.
what are your thoughts this week on the game? I know you're a huge LSU fan, so
Yeah,
give us
yeah.
some
I'm LSU all the way when it comes to football.
Right.
A lot of my buddies from Mississippi State, which are some of God's great people, you know, are they're pretty, you know, kind of honest. And this is the first thing they'll tell you, that if there was a fall baseball scrimmage at 11 a.m. on Saturday, there would be a hell of a lot less people at that football game. They're all in on baseball. Like they kind of know who they are with football. You know, they get it.
They know they lose to Memphis.
That's right. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose to Memphis. You know, death taxes and a loss to LSU used to be the case. Kind of worried about that right now, but you know, even the worst LSU teams. I mean, even the very worst Curly Hallman team could get a victory against Mississippi State.
Right.
You know how that what happened last year was my daughter will tell you that my response to our pass defense was a fucking clown show. I mean, yeah.
And how old is your daughter?
She's 7. But I don't get to live that one down, dude. You know, it was just a porous. I mean, didn't the Costello kid get benched the next weekend after looking like the leading contender?
Right. I think they scored 14 points the next week, 2 points the next week, and then shut out the next week.
Oh my God, bro, it was rough. It was rough. All right, so State this year, talking to some of my guys, man. You know, they've got a really good defense. Their secondary is actually really good. You know, they're going to dare you to throw the football on them, which is interesting considering that, you know, that's what we like to do.
Right.
You know, their front seven is okay. However, you've seen us not be able to push anybody around. So, you know, what'll change this week, I don't know. But, you know, Mike Leach's offense is ride or die. I mean, they're not changing what they do. They're gonna, you know, they're gonna air raid you to death. A lot of the luster's worn off on Leach already in Starkville. That's what they're telling me. That yeah, one of my guys said that he's all on the Mike Leach bandwagon as long as he could drive it to Fort Lauderdale and leave it the hell there. You know, I mean, I don't think that they are feeling, you know, the same level of the whole pirate thing and all that.
Right.
And a lot of that, honestly, is to do with what's going on in Oxford, man. I mean, Kiffin, that's rough on those guys, dude. An LSU loss is not nearly as bad as something cool happening to Ole Miss for them.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is.
That's the media darling right now is Ole Miss. And
that's it. That's it. And there's nothing. You can ask your boy Stingray and any of the other, you know, the Mississippi State guys that you bring on.
Now, he did call my cell phone just a second ago. I did talk to him on the phone, and I was honestly, Patrick, I was a little starstruck talking to Stingray on the phone because it's Stingray's voice. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking to fucking Stingray. Like, really?
I do. And that is what that's what is you know, that's what represents Mississippi State, right? Stingray, you know.
Guy.
Oh my God! I saw the thing you posted earlier today with the dude with the grown man with the toddler haircut. You know, doing
all about that state.
Oh Jesus God! Is that a troll job or is that real?
All
shit,
about that state. No rebels.
Oh yeah. I mean that you know, and that is what, you know, unfortunately is represented out of state, which is is terrible because anybody that I hung out with will tell you that's ridiculous. But
so do you feel like this is and I do feel like this is a must win for LSU. What are your thoughts for LSU right now? We got Auburn coming up next week, an 8 p.m. kick in Tiger Stadium.
Finally, right.
What do you think about this game coming up here?
So honestly, myself and 5 other buddies and the wives were booked to go up to Starkville and had a place and going to do the whole thing, taking all these LSU guys and show them their first Starkville appearance. Because we don't even consider 11 a.m. kickoff down here.
Right.
That shit, we were going to play golf at our Waverly, which look,
right.
Dude, it's legit,
we
man.
We really did have a planned trip. We
Yep.
were going to go to Old Waverly and we were going to go go to the game, whatever time it was. It just fell through. We didn't.
Go play golf at Old Waverly. Go eat dinner at Anthony's Seafood and Steak Market in West Point, Mississippi, where your boy Brandon Walker's close to or from or whatever. It's a brown bag restaurant. You bring your whiskey in, bring your wine in. They set you up with a court fee. Dude, it's hard to beat. It really is.
Over there too.
Yeah, food.
House, our guy.
Yeah. Food's delicious. Go over to Starkville and have a good day. We thought we were taking that route, then they hung it on 11 a.m. kick, and everybody we punted on that.
Right.
Yeah, fell through. But is it a must win for LSU? I mean, I got to believe it is. I think a lot of games are a must win for LSU, and more importantly, going forward. I mean, what do y'all think?
Absolutely, and I think that it's more. Honestly, I've been saying this all week. Just all I need you to do is just win. I don't care if it's I don't care if it's 81-80. Just win the game. I need you to win and move on to Auburn. 8 a.m. kick in Death Valley at Auburn.
PM.
I need 8 p.m. Sorry, I've been drinking. 8 p.m. kick Auburn. I need a packed house. I need everybody to be energized for that game. And absolutely, if we lose this game, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So I think that you're catching State in a good spot. They just lost to Memphis. Fans are kind of down on it. 11 a.m. kick, which even they don't have a great feeling about. I think LSU's kind of got everything to play for. They know how they're being talked about. I mean, I know those guys, and Zach, I know you're there. I mean, I'm sure you were inside that building. You don't listen to the media, but you know what's being said. I mean, last week fixed a little bit of it, didn't fix all of it.
We're trending upward, and not to dig at you some more, but y'all are trending a little bit more on the downside.
No, he's LSU.
I'm an LSU football.
Yeah. Fred Michelson, you kidding me?
Yeah, man. I mean,
with the baseball, so I was like, dang, I don't even
know.
No,
You're good.
No. My baseball digs, you could ask Matt from us being my baseball digs are more of my anger at what the LSU program became because of what we watched. Yes.
Speaking of, we've been at the baseball tailgates for the last couple of weekends.
Yeah.
And I think you would like to hear some of the talks that's been had at some of these baseball tailgates and some of the animosity for the past coaching staff compared to this coaching staff.
Yeah.
A different direction.
Absolutely. Man, 100%. My guys actually talking to Chad Durbin yesterday.
Oh, Chad, my guy.
Yeah. Derb said, I mean,
Chad, I went to middle school with Chad, so I love Chad.
Yeah. Derb's, I mean, he was just like the friendliness or the reception of former players and trying to bring that back. And the way this guy teaches the game is it's 100% culture change.
Chad struck me out on a 89-mile-an-hour slider in high school my senior year.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, I'm never going to see this again.
So I'd have been a junior on that team. Yeah, Chad struck a lot of people out. That's why he was pitching for the Royals the next year. That guy was all right, but man, this guy's like reaching out to people like local pros, guys that didn't play. I mean, Chad didn't go to LSU,
Right.
This guy's reaching out to people in the local community, trying to embrace the guys that have been there. Because I mean, there's Maneri he didn't embrace any of that, dude. There's a lot of great baseball in Baton Rouge that he completely left on the sideline. He had it his way. He kind of got there with his nose in the air a little bit, and that followed him throughout his whole career. So I think Johnson, and not trying to switch it to baseball, but I think that and State's the opposite, man. Lamonis. If you went to the dude and you went to the box, you want to tell me which is the better game day experience? I got bad news for Sunshine Pumpers for LSU. The dude is incredible.
I'm probably sure that's one of Jay Johnson's goals here in his tenure is to change that a little bit, maybe recreate that atmosphere a little bit more. Figure out how you can get that pumping again, kind of like the old Alice Box. The old Alice Box was just
was insane, man.
Show. Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Oh man, that game against UC Irvine when they came back, the last one, I thought the whole bleachers were going to come down, dude.
Exactly.
It was insane. Yeah, it's not like that anymore. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is September, not May.
Yeah,
Come
we-
on.
we
Let's,
gotta
I'm
let's
sorry.
flip it.
All
I
right.
mean,
Come on.
Patrick, come on.
He's excited though.
I know.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Together,
Here we
get
go.
it together, guys. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So, score prediction for this weekend. LSU going to Mississippi State. What are you thinking the score is going to be?
Man, I actually think the Tigers pull it out. I really do.
Mhm.
I think you got a 34-30.
Go
State throws a go Tigers. I think State comes in with I think it's 34-23 and State scores a garbage late touchdown to backdoor it. I wouldn't take LSU in the points. Let's put it that way.
No.
But I think they're gonna win the game.
I may not pick LSU for the rest of the year.
Right.
Right. I'm kind of with you there. So we're gonna get to our predictions later in the show, but I think you're pretty right on. And I said this tongue in cheek earlier this week on Twitter was a surefire way to beat Mike Leach is to outscore him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you score more points than Mississippi State, you're gonna win.
Yeah.
And my point was, let's not put our defense in a position where they have to win the game. Let's win the game on offense. Similar to 2019. Let's just score the points that we need to score, get in the red zone, punch it in every time, and take control on the offensive side instead of making Durante be the guy that needs to save the game for the defensive side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the way to win against a Mississippi State team, is to try to make sure you get stops.
Right.
That makes sense.
Being aggressive, exactly how we were.
It's offense by playing our defense by playing offense. If you score enough points, you're going to force them to go into their more chance taking situations. And I mean, they'll make mistakes. Any pressure on the quarterback just adds to it.
Last year we scored 27 offensive points.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a pick six, obviously, that we had for defensively, but 27 points isn't going to probably cut it against Mississippi State. I don't think.
35.
I mean, you need to score
Agreed.
at least 30.
Yeah.
If you're going to get over the hump.
Yeah.
So just keep scoring. Be aggressive on offense, like you're saying, Zach, and like tempo. That's kind of what we were saying right before we came on. Like, bro, you just gotta keep going, and it gave so much confidence to that offensive side that I don't know how they can't carry over to Mississippi State.
Yeah. I mean, from what I saw from our receivers last week, I mean, there's some dudes out there that are
Deion Smith. We hadn't even seen him all year.
Jackson, Mississippi, man. Yeah, we just saw him last week, and he goes up there and mosses the hell out of somebody.
Exactly.
I mean, it's time, man. Get those guys out there, get them in space, and let them go.
I just hope we don't try to establish the run.
Absolutely not.
Because it's not going to work.
No, well, if you do
not
run
against Mississippi State, at least.
If you do run,
you set it up with the
run,
pass.
You have to run these new backs, and you have to run the outside. This ground and pound up the middle stuff isn't going to work with TDP and our offensive line. I feel like it's just not a good fit.
No toss dive.
Yeah, I love TDP, but it's just not a good fit for this style of offense this year.
Well, it's not a fit for this offensive line.
Right, exactly. So
aren't you in on Kiner? I'm all in on. I think
love Kiner. Love Goodwin.
He's echoes of Dalton Hilliard a little bit, bro. I mean,
yep. And he's got that 21. It looks small and stocky.
Yeah.
Honestly, Kiner looks like Clyde to me a little bit too.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of shake. He's got some power. He's got a little speed to the outside. He's kind of like that complete shifty back that I love in this offense.
Yeah.
And it's just a different dimension that what we're getting out of TDP. John Emery, I mean, I don't even want to talk about him right now if he can't get eligible. Like, honestly, I'll say this: I don't even want John Emery taking reps right now if he's not eligible.
I think they're banking on him being eligible.
I think
this week.
That's what it sounds.
I think
like.
he's gonna.
I think they really want him to be.
I bet it gets announced tomorrow morning.
That's
too.
my call.
Because
no sources or anything. That's just what I feel right now.
If they're giving him as many reps as they're giving him, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
They're just waiting, but there's a reason he's getting as many reps in practice as he is.
Mm-hmm. It feels a lot like Christian Fulton 2018 season.
Right.
Like everyone just kind of felt like that was coming.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Any inside information you got from me, Patrick?
What's that now?
Any inside information for me? You're usually my inside guy for baseball. You got any inside information for football?
Yeah, I'm not so much into, but now I did. I mean, again, take this with a grain of salt. I did hear exactly what Zach just said. I heard that they're expecting a favorable ruling on Emery. that came from somebody that was there yesterday. I mean, again, who knows? Plane tracking and tiger drop is whatever. But I mean that's what the guy told me. Guys usually write about a lot. Guy was right about a lot of baseball stuff, Matt. That we talked about. So I would expect that would happen. Trey Bradford's another one that they think is going to happen. So
I forgot he's on the team.
He's on the team, man. That's
good about him.
Yeah. They think that's going to happen too. And I know that a lot of people were kind of pushing for Nussmeier. I think that they are going to establish Max Johnson. I mean, Max Johnson's the guy. They are trying to reassure that with him. That he knows that this is his team. I mean, there's no doubt they're going to ride or die with that guy. So I think
the tempo changed everything with Max Johnson. And it should have been in everybody's eyes.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you see a different quarterback when he comes up to the line and he knows exactly what he wants to run, and he can dictate it to the defense.
Yeah.
He looks like a different quarterback.
And I want to see him get confident and push the ball down the field. Like, throw it in that window. He's good enough. I mean, he. And look, if you make a mistake every down, that's fine. But push the ball down. You got the guys out there, man. Push it down the field.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like defensively we're going to be able to match up this year with Mississippi State a little bit more? I know it's what we saw with Bo Pelini was just hot garbage.
I was about to say, if you mean having a LSU defensive player within 20 yards of a Mississippi State receiver when the ball's in the air,
At one point I saw Zach out there trying to guard a wide receiver one-on-one on the outside, and I was like, "This is done."
Absolutely. No, I mean,
you would have jammed them at the line.
I would have just thrown everybody on the ground within 5 yards.
No, I literally saw poor Darren Evans. Darren Evans got thrown to the damn wolves last year. Darren Evans had a play a couple of times. We talked about this a few times, where he got up to the line like he was going to jam the wide receiver. He let him free release off of him. Doesn't even touch the receiver. Comes off of him, and the receiver is 3 yards by him. And I'm like, what are you jamming him for if you're not going to actually jam him
right
at the line? So there was a lot of miscommunication, and there was a lot of young guys that weren't ready to play.
Yeah. No, I think you're going to see a lot better defense out there. I mean, I think that you're going to see, Memphis did an okay job when they were LSU's got better athletes than Memphis. I mean, it comes down to that sometimes. The communication has been, better. We saw, I think it was a blown coverage, maybe one last week. One broke coverage last week. But just the absolute, the absolute lack of communication seems like that has improved drastically. So, I mean, it hurts that Stingley's out. Obviously, that guy on the field is a shutdown corner. But at the same time, need our linebackers to be able to cover too, man. That's not what we do. But I'm hoping that the linebackers can get out on the short routes when they check the ball down and whatnot. But just the fact that they'll make mistakes. I mean, they made mistakes. I threw a couple interceptions last year. That offense is built to make a few mistakes. And any pressure on the quarterback just adds to that. And Memphis pressured him. So, I mean, you got to think the guys, even without Anthony, are going to be able to get some heat back there. So,
well, and it feels like it's like a ding and dunk kind of offense, too, if you play it the right way. LSU obviously didn't last year in the first game. But if you can keep all your guys over the top to where everything's underneath, eventually they're going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And if you play it that way and you're just patient with them, they may make some drives on you, but it can end up being a field goal rather than a touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy, if he's underneath, he's eventually going to get frustrated trying to force something. Exactly. I mean, that's and so I think that's what you're looking for right there. Just keep it in front of you, tackle the ball, put them in a lot of 3rd and 6s. I think you're going to be all right.
Yep. Tell us about Bank of England Mortgage. You guys have been a great sponsor of us. Tell us a little bit more about it, if you can.
Man, Bank of England Mortgage. Actually, we just got back from a little company retreat down at Gros Savant over there in Lake Charles, dude. That's kind of who we are.
When are we going to be invited to this? I mean, we're a huge
place. Not trying to give them a plug, but that place, man. I mean, two mornings of teal hunting, 2 afternoons of fishing, and 5-star service and meals. It was unbelievable. But that's kind of who we are, man. We're out of England, Arkansas. Partnered with them about 3 years ago after being with a big company for 15 years. Got a great group in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, kind of the same guys that I'm sitting here talking to. And we're relationship based bankers. We do mortgages, and we have a bunch of guys that like to have a good time and take care of our clients. And there's nothing sexy about a mortgage, honestly. I mean, it is what it is. You can get the same one from me and 7 other guys in town, but we like to hang out and have a drink with you and take care of your housing needs at the same time.
Right. So when are we going to play golf with the Bank of England guys?
Man,
I've seen videos.
Yeah, that's right. You saw some of the Texas videos, yeah, man.
I actually saw you peeing on the side of on one of the holes, right?
I want to beat the shit out of our media guys for putting that on. That dude, that is that was a low blow, but. Man, we get a golf. You get one team, one pot out there, and
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, get a little golf out. And those guys are serious about it. Now, look, you got to stay out of the money games, though, Matt. I mean,
no, absolutely not.
You got to understand. This place behind me is the same way. I get in on
my back. There's no money games anymore in my lifetime.
That's right. Yeah. So as long as you stay out of the money games, you kind of play your high handicap, no sandbagging. We have a good time afterwards, though, for sure.
No, we need to go out to the Bluffs here really soon. How is it playing out there right now?
Man, the course is in pretty good shape, to be honest.
Is it really? Okay.
It really is, man. The weather's been great
lately, and I keep saying I don't know. I hear it's okay, but okay.
So there's a couple of holes that have gotten dogs. The flood of 16 just really,
really
5 got shortened to a 4 because that the creek came up and came over and wiped everything out. But as far, I mean, it's not Pinehurst. It's not.
Sure.
It's not the Masters, but as far as a different topography in Louisiana, I played the TPC about a month ago or whatnot, and I mean it's a beautiful course, but it all looks the same and it's really hot. It's just all it's all flat. I mean, you get a different topography out here. It almost kind of doesn't look like Louisiana. So it's to me it's fun. I mean. You're always going to have your complainer guys, but I mean that's golf, right?
And 17 and 18 are fantastic holes.
Signature holes, man. They really
18
are.
18 to me is like probably the best finishing hole in Louisiana. That I played.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yards, man. It's so far.
Oh, it's so far. Yeah,
I've had like 12.
What is the total distance on that hole? It's a 5. I understand, but like, was it 530 something like that?
Oh, on 18's 532 from the Blues.
Okay, so but it's probably plays like
700
to me.
Yeah. You're definitely driver 3-wood, and then go from there. I mean,
I'm driver hybrid. Pitching.
That's you're strong then if you're hitting a hybrid on your second shot. Give it the old steroid jerk, man. I'm a 3-wood all the way, bro. Absolutely.
Bro, we appreciate all your support with our podcast.
Yeah, man.
You've been great. You and Lucas Ragusa, we need to get you.
I saw him today, dude. Have I? Look, I mean, I love Ola. No, I saw him on either Facebook or something like that. I hadn't seen him in a long time. I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm gonna kiss him when I see him. I've aged better than that dude.
Yeah, you have. I have a commercial break in just a second where I got Lucas on the commercial break. So everybody that's seeing this right now is going to know what you're
But if let me tell you what, and you can say it, if there was a harder working, I know you're on that offensive line, but you're just more talented than that guy was. You were just more talented. That guy, nobody gave more of an effort than that guy did, and actually found his way onto a starting line of his senior year. He
was 180
all hard.
180 pounds soaking wet.
Absolutely.
Running shit.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Sam, our producer, is not here, and one of the things that we were going to talk about tonight was what size shirt do you wear? Is it a medium or a Marge?
It's got to be a medium.
It's actually Baby Gap. My son, my 12-year-old son, and I, when he goes out, I just go 2, son. And so, it's form fitting, as they say.
I hear you. You got to let them suckers breathe on the outside. I get it.
Yeah.
We appreciate you again, Patrick. We're gonna catch up with you soon. We're gonna maybe go do some dinner here soon. Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna hit up a tailgate too sometime and go act like I'm not 43 years old anymore.
Hit us up before Auburn week. Well, we got a lot of old guys. Me and Zach are on the damn podcast together. Zach's the oldest dude in Baton Rouge, apparently.
Oh my God.
I know.
Birthday
What are you, Jack? You 30 now?
I'm 30.
I wish I was
30 years old. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, he's living his
I'm
life
the,
like
I'm the
yeah.
oldest 30-year-old.
Wait, but from some of the scenery I've seen at the tailgates, I wish I was 30.
There you go. There you go. All right, buddy. Talk to you
Y'all be
soon.
good, man. See y'all.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, later.
That was Patrick Michelson, Bank of England Mortgage. He's a great sponsor of ours. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, and then we're gonna have Stingray on in just a second. But before that, we'll even do some Tiger droppings post of the week. Quick commercial break. Be right back.
Our humble beginnings in 1898, right here in England, Arkansas, hometown values were important 100 plus years ago. And although the building is a bit different, and there's a few more people in it, those same values drive us each and every day. Whether your hometown is Jacksonville, Dallas, New York, Denver, San Diego, Seattle, Dickinson, Daphne, or anywhere in between, we have your hometown branch right around the corner. You're here. Welcome home.
River City Total Maintenance is an air conditioning and heating company in South Louisiana. We've been in business since about 1980. It does start with the people. It starts with wanting to do the right thing the right way. The thing that makes our company different from the rest is our people. Whenever you have us into your home, we're going to treat you like family. We're going to do the things that it takes in order to earn your business on the front end and to deliver on the services that we provide on the back end. Whenever you have a problem, we're going to be there to answer the call. NOLAAC.com is our webpage. We have a lot of information about our company, about the employees of the company, and the services that we provide.
Right now is the time to get the vehicle of your dreams at Courtesy Buick GMC in Lafayette.
New vehicles are arriving daily by the truckload, but they're moving off our lot just as fast. So stop by or go to courtesyautomotive.com. You can pre-order and secure the exact vehicle that you want.
Right now, get $7,500 off MSRP on a 2021 GMC Sierra or get a 2021 Buick Envision for only $28,988. Discover the experience at Courtesy Buick GMC in Lafayette.
Learn more at glowresources.com.
All right, we are back. One Team, One Podcast. Before we get started on the next segment, William, what do you got?
So we got two birthday boys in the Courtesy Automotive Group studio with us tonight. Jack turned 23 yesterday.
Sir.
Yes.
Jack, I know you had a good night last
And
night.
You did have a good night.
I turned 21 for the 10th time.
Attaboy.
Zach, you got any birthday plans for tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow night, Zach von Rosenberg's birthday.
Yeah.
It's 31?
31.
Okay.
But it's a young 31.
It's a young 31.
Yeah.
Especially clean shaven. Young 31.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
What are your plans?
I am probably going to dinner with my family. I'm pretty sure they have a cake for me or some surprise, but I don't want them to have a surprise. To celebrating birthdays now just means you're getting old, and that's not fun anymore. So
your 31st is going to be a lot different than your 21st.
Oh my God, yeah. It's been different since I turned 26. 25 is like the last birthday you actually celebrate as a guy. Girls is different. Girls always celebrate. It's a good time to get your birthday sash, have a birthday weekend, whatever.
Right.
But as a guy, as a male, it's a lot different. You're just like, man, I'm getting older. At least I'm not graying yet. No offense there, man.
Yeah,
Salt and
it's a
pepper over
bitch,
here.
bro. It's actually. I think the girls love the gray hair.
They do. They
to be
do.
honest with
They
you.
do.
Yeah,
Like George Clooney.
yeah, you get a little bit of
Yeah,
that
you
vibe.
look just like
you
George
know,
Clooney.
you know what's worse? You know when I grew out my beard.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was really bad.
That was
I
like
grew out my beard. It was a gray beard.
that was Pelini's fault.
But then, yeah, Pelini drove me to it.
Yeah.
After I shaved my beard back, now when I grow out stubble, it's just gray. And so it doesn't even look like stubble anymore. So like a 2-day stubble doesn't even look like anything because it's gray. It looks like I haven't shaved. I still haven't I've still shaved.
Well, that's good.
Shaved face. I know.
Save money on razors.
Good problem to
Exactly.
have, yeah.
So I'm pretty lazy now in the morning. All right. So next segment what we're gonna do is this will be a weekly segment of ours, and we used to do this back in the
All
day,
the
and we
time.
kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Tiger droppings post of the week.
3 minutes long.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So Tiger droppings post of the week. We're gonna find the best posts of the week. We're gonna highlight those. We're gonna talk about them. I have one first.
go
If y'all
ahead.
want me to go first, okay.
Yeah,
Go crazy.
I'm cheating over.
Yeah, I'm
here.
struggling to find my.
I
post that
got
I'll-
mine. It's not the same as yours. So Go
Okay,
ahead.
so this is by GeAux.
That's a great name.
EAUX. Go O. So he loves it. He loves that Ogeron.
And he can't change his username.
Don't shoot the messenger. Kiffin to LSU talk.
Oh boy.
I live in Mississippi. The buzz in Starkville is that Kiffin is Woodward's choice to replace O. Could be totally false, but Moo State fans think it's pretty much a done deal once the season's over.
Do
I
they now?
personally would love to see someone like this.
So that's
I
coming.
mean-
that's coming from Go O.
Go O.
Yeah.
You
know you can trust
and
him.
I love the first one's like a throw up emoji right after that. What are y'all's thoughts on okay, hypothetically, this is completely speculation season. Hypothetically, O's gone. We hire Elaine Kiffin. What are your thoughts?
That's a great hire.
Immediate
That's
thoughts.
like almost the top of my list.
I mean, everybody's gonna love. I mean, I shouldn't say everybody. Clearly, that post or somebody, the very first comment under that
Go
post, so
Owood.
they didn't like that choice. They wanted somebody else.
Yeah.
But people would say that's the top of the list. But it's funny how soon in the season people are just bailing on the season. Yeah, we lost to UCLA. We haven't gotten our reins going yet. But yeah, in terms of the take, I get it. If you're gonna pick another guy, I guess Lane Kiffin is the guy, even though him and Coach O have coached together.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which is
So
kinda crazy.
so we hire Lane Kiffin and then hire Coach O as our defensive line coach.
Right.
That's what they were at Tennessee
Yep.
back in the day, right?
And those Tennessee teams, man.
Well,
they
it was
were
1 year, first of all.
Yeah. It wasn't long.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
USC
but
teams.
USC, yes.
Mhm.
But what would you think about Kiffin coming over?
With our athletes, we'll be scoring 40 to 50 points a game. We just got to play defense at that
Easily.
point.
Exactly.
Easily. And then you also got, you have Nuss. I think Nuss would end up being the starter in that offense because he's going to go with the guy that's the most explosive at quarterback.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or
Well,
maybe even Walker Howard. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? I do see him. Yeah, that would be an interesting pick because we get, no offense to Ole Miss, but we get better athletes than Ole
Yeah.
Miss. We have better
I
freshman wide receiver class than Ole Miss. So that
I
would
saw
be
something. I don't think it was on Tiger droppings. I think it was on something else, but it was about LSU loses to Mississippi State this week. They lose to Auburn next week. O's fired. Would you expect that something like that to happen? So, say we lost this week. You could even be
you
like
do know what his buyout is, right?
It's a lot.
It's like
$20 million.
$20 million. I don't think
So,
he's fired.
All right, I agree. I agree with you.
$20 million.
I heard this scenario, and this is bro, we're talking about we're getting way in there now. But I heard this scenario of the Title IX situation coming down probably in about 30 days. I think there's a report that's probably going to come out, and Woodward would be waiting on that report because that could give him some cause to where they could negotiate the buyout down, maybe from 20 to 10 or whatever it is. Definitely a reduced price from $20 million. I have no idea if
I
that's.
think it's 25 million.
Holy shit.
That's what I'm
That's a
saying.
lot.
That's what everybody's like. Oh, fire coach.
Yeah,
you got
exactly.
25 mil. Who's got it?
I still think they could raise that.
Yeah, they could, but I think they don't.
I know it's all
want
it's
to.
all privately donated, but they could raise that. So anyway, all right. What's the next Tiger droppings we got?
I had something similar actually. Like if we did fire Coach O after losing this weekend or something like that, who is the interim?
Durante. I think it's got to be Corey Raymond, right?
That's the guy.
If you had to get an interim coach, it would be Corey Raymond.
I think so.
I'm on the Durante train.
Longest tenured coach.
It is weird.
Well, I love Durante, but yeah. It's got to be Corey.
Yeah,
I think
so.
Corey
Yeah,
Raymond.
I think it's Corey. It's got to be. Corey's the only. He makes the most sense. Been there the
Isn't
longest.
is Slinger still on the staff?
On paper, I know he's
He's like
an
an analyst or
analyst.
something
He's an
like that,
analyst,
right?
which technically they can't. How would that work? Can you name an analyst, an interim head
Well,
coach?
you're losing one on-field coach, so you have
Yeah,
so you could replace. Maybe he could. That's true. I didn't even think about that. That's possible. So an analyst could fill the role.
Because like if we lose this weekend, the season's over anyway.
Right.
I think I still believe it'd be Corey Raymond because I don't think.
I think so too.
I don't think Coach Slinger would want to take on the role. He's sailing off into the sunset.
Yeah.
He's going into retirement.
No, I
That's
agree.
right.
That's the last thing he wants is
One
more
last
pressure.
hoorah. No,
Exactly. I mean, privately, he may be like, you know what, it's my last time ever to coach. Like one of my last times ever to coach. Like he might say he might say okay, but I still think the answer would be Corey Raymond.
I think they go to Corey first.
I think so too. And it would definitely be on his plate first, and he could say no and pass, but I think it would be on Corey's plate first.
Tiger droppings. You got
So I have two, but I'll just go with this one. I hate when people go specifically to like as if they're at practice. But anyway, this person's name is Matthias 5K. It says, anyone hear about Coach Ed O overly tense at practice on Monday or Tuesday? Like, dude, I don't know. But anyway, it says Moscona said on the nightcap he heard from some people at practice that Ed is overly tense. And I'm not going to, go into, even if you did hear that, who's going to get into practice to be able to say something like that? A staff member is not going to tell Matt Moscona that information, even if it was true. So that's just a little, I don't know. It's just interesting. People on Tiger Drums love to feel like they got input that's inside information when I know you have no idea. You might have just made that up on the spot.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like to run with a lot of stuff that they say because it's usually pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, here's one. Stingley injured at practice? Rumor by Fonzarelli. And it says, link, OTOP tweet. I've seen messages, and this is our tweet.
I didn't realize we were on
I've seen messages in various threads before starting a new topic, but I think it all needs to be put in one spot. I suppose no one really knows the truth yet, but fingers crossed we don't lose him this week for an extended period of time. Here's hoping it just remains a rumor. And so back to it. Heard that it was a minor injury. But it was super, super quiet on the LSU front, which isn't normal, to be honest with you. You usually get a whole bunch of shit. Like everybody's leaking stuff out.
That's because of the nature of the situation. It's a must-win game, and you don't want Mississippi State to have information like that our best DB is likely out. That's something you don't want because in film preparation, you have a wide receiver looking at Derek Stingley's film, getting his tells, learning him as a defensive player, and all of a sudden, if you leak too early in the week that he's no longer playing in the game, that player now has to look at the next man up, which is probably Dwight.
I completely agree with you, but it still feels like it is abnormal.
It's
for
abnormal.
The last couple of years.
It's all about it's abnormal, and it's all about competitive advantage.
Man,
and
the
that's
stuff that we've been leaked out is just to me is baffling. But it's actually a great thing. It's a good thing that this wasn't leaked out of like how severe of an injury. Where is the injury? I heard Jacob Hester talking on his show today, and he didn't even know where the injury was. And I'm like, oh, if Jacob Hester doesn't know.
I texted two people this morning. They had
no idea, which is great. That's fantastic. That's the way it should be ran. And hopefully it's getting better to that point. But man, the amount of stuff that's why people I think were DMing us is because we've been hearing things for the last couple of years, and it's like, well, I didn't hear anything this time. that didn't mean it didn't happen, but it just got kept quiet. So, which is a good thing. Hopefully the program is in the right direction with that. All right, so before we get Stingray on, let's talk about this game a little bit more. What are y'all's thoughts on the game and how it's going to go? Do you feel like LSU could be like taking a lead? Like, what do you feel is going to be shootout? Like, any thoughts going into the week?
Yeah. So early in the week, my score was around 35-21. I think because I said earlier, I hope we don't try to establish a run, and I don't think we will. It just in the back of my mind, I'm just always worried that Coach O is going to want to do that. Because Mississippi State's real good at stopping the run. That's what I've noticed in their first 3 games. They've given up like I think a total of not even 200 yards so far this year. So yeah, I don't see that being an issue that gets fixed this week for sure. I think there's plenty to be had in the passing game against them. I just think we have significantly better athletes than they do. I don't know, and
we're not going to get to
their offense isn't explosive at all.
We're not going to get the we're going to do the point prediction at the end.
No,
don't do that yet.
I wasn't going to.
Okay, so
I don't know. I don't think their offense is explosive at all. I'm worried about Stingley being out because I that leaves room to be like mistakes on the outside.
Yeah.
Stingley being out increases. We're not going to go into scores, whatever.
Yeah.
Stingley being out increases my at least a touchdown. The score that I was going to give Mississippi State, which in turn I'm picking LSU to win, not by much, but I'm saying it's going to be more of a shootout than it would have been prior.
It affected my score a good bit too.
I agree with you. I think that it will make a difference. I'm just still super excited about seeing young guys. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's still 2020. It just completely messed my brain up. With a guy like Stingley being out, I want to see young guys that are young and hungry in the game, being aggressive, and it's almost like I just want like all those other guys to like step aside and let's just move on.
Coach O's words.
I'm ready to move on.
Next man up.
Yeah,
next man
I'm
up.
ready to move on.
We'll see what talent level and ability these young guys have, and somebody needs to step up because we're going to need them next year. And why not now?
Yeah,
against Mississippi State.
And I'm not saying I'm done with Stingley. I'm just feeling like, okay, I'm just ready for these other guys to step up. Yeah. And I want to see those guys
because we will be Stingley less next year.
Exactly.
Matt, I know you love this word. You want to see some guys with swagger?
Yeah, swagger is my favorite word. That's my favorite word of all time. Yeah, so definitely want to see that. A lot of moxie. Yeah, big moxie guy over here.
Speaking of moxie,
what?
Let's let him in.
We got Sam.
Let this guy.
This is Sam in the chat.
Yeah, Producer Sam.
Sam's in the chat. Big moxie
Sam.
right here.
Hey guys.
Sam. Had some car trouble tonight. Is that right?
Yeah. First of all, happy birthday, Jack. Second of all, yeah, bro, my car won't start.
Second of all, happy birthday, Zach, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Sam.
Come on.
Yeah. I mean,
you're not invited.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can't get there anyways because my car won't start. So, thank you. So, what have we been talking about, guys?
We were talking about your flat tire and broken down car and trying to come get you, some USAA or whatever roadside assistance to come get you on the side of the road.
Yeah, we've been talking about that, and I think everybody agrees that I'm just way better at your job than you are.
Yeah. Sam,
that's great.
I don't know if you can have a job with us anymore.
Right.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, William can take over. Wacky bets, go for it, kid. I mean, good luck unplugging things and plugging it back in.
So Sam, I was talking to Billy earlier today.
Yeah,
he's a Tulane Billy. You're UAB Sam, I guess. He was saying that y'all need to put something on this. He was saying he'll give you. I think the spread is 3.5 for Tulane. And he was saying he'll give you a full 7. And y'all put something on that.
Are we talking money? Or what are we talking monetary?
I don't know. He said put some sort of wager down.
Then you said he'll buy you a new tire.
First of all, my tire is fine. If it was a tire, I would have taken care of it. It's more of a battery power issue, but All right,
Yeah,
relax.
Yeah,
I'm
new
in. I mean, when UAB wins, Billy gives me his car. How about that?
You don't want.
Yeah.
Actually,
No,
okay,
you don't
fine.
want
Take his
that.
car.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah. Hey, all right, yeah, we're talking about. So what's the spread on that again? 7?
It's 3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
Billy said he'll give him 7.
Oh, I think you.
Yeah, I don't really even want the points, honestly. I'll just take UAB straight up.
Money line?
Let's go.
UAB
money line. UAB
Hammer
money
it.
line? Yeah. Hammer it.
Is this
I'm
in
in.
Birmingham? Nobody just walks into Birmingham and takes the game.
No,
away.
it's in Yeoman.
Oh,
Yeoman
He
at
came,
night.
he
Right.
came on the pod way
Nobody goes
overconfident.
into Yeoman at
Yeah.
night and gets a win, dude.
Right.
It doesn't happen. Yeoman
Is
and
it at night?
Providence? Yeah, night game. You
Uh,
don't even know this guy.
This guy.
He's laying down
I
money.
don't.
when
I
he has no
don't. I
food inside
don't
the
actually
time of the
know
game.
that sounds like an 11 a.m. game. UAB versus Tulane. I mean, let's be honest, guys.
Prime time. Best team.
ABC.
Best team in the Coosa, and versus the best team in the American.
So I do have to come clean though. I needed to get this off my chest. I don't want to
You
think.
faked car trouble so you couldn't come in.
I knew it.
I don't want anybody to think I'm dodging. Okay. Everything I said about Auburn and Bo Nix, I lied to myself and I lied to you guys, and I take it all back. We're
So
on
you
square
don't have to
one.
apologize. We knew that was going on.
We knew that. We knew that whenever they played Akron.
We need you to do 2 Hail Marys and one
one shot.
Yeah, exactly.
How about a Hail Mary from the 3-yard line? How about that? And Bo will just throw it as far as he can.
So what is your thoughts? Me and you, we've reviewed this probably about 20 times in my office, I believe. You brought this.
Yeah,
you brought your phone with me. You wanted to review the play from the 2-yard line, and it's the player. He gets jammed at the wide receiver. The wide receiver gets jammed at the line of scrimmage, and Bo Nix basically throws it to the cheerleaders close to the sidelines.
Yeah,
it's impressive arm strength.
If he threw it, yeah, arm strength is great.
That's elite arm strength.
If he threw it, if he threw it a little closer, you could have got a PI call.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even close to where the ref probably turned around and looked at Bo Nix and just shook his head.
I mean, honestly, first of all, give the ball to Tank. You're at the 2-yard line.
Absolutely. Do a zone read with Tank Bigsby.
That's some Pete Carroll shit right there.
And second of all, like if there was no defense, that pass isn't getting caught for a touchdown. Like so, it's that play they were just trying to get a pass interference, and that's soft ass cupcake bullshit football, and it's unacceptable.
Yep. That's not the Boise State way.
No,
absolutely not. Can you imagine that play on the blue turf?
Dude,
Hell no.
Would never happen.
No.
Would never
Boise
happen.
State's tougher than that shit.
Brian Harsin resulted to some Gus Malzahn frou bullshit.
Yeah, but those white face masks though.
Oh, dude,
they look great.
I loved them. Y'all look like Virginia.
Our next big challenge is you guys. Obviously LSU. You know, I mean, y'all kind of get your hands full, I think. Huh?
I said, don't look past Georgia State.
All right. Don't.
No, actually, I got y'all minus 27.5. I like that. Y'all have shown that y'all can defeat inferior opponents.
So Sam, I know you're not here. Any questions for Stingray coming on in just a little while?
Oh man, I mean, my thing is like my question for Mississippi State is how do they lie to themselves about the athletes that they have? It's like they did an okay job under Moorhead with recruiting the defensive linemen up front and kind of offensive line, but like they don't have the skill position. They don't have the playmakers, and like they don't have the speed. So
right.
I don't know.
What are
how
they
do you
gonna
lie to
do?
yourself about Mississippi State and Mike Leach? Would be my one question because I know how to lie to myself.
I think the only way you lie to him is you bring up Bo Pelini and 623 passing yards.
Yeah, that commercial didn't need drill. The Pirate one right after that game. I don't know. That came out right.
Oh,
that after the Bo Pelini game, that was the Pirate commercial. It came out the next.
I don't even remember that. Okay, we got like 1 million people coming in here.
I was like,
all right, I think it's time. All right, we're about to have Sam. We're gonna let you go. We got Tulane Billy is about to come on. Tulane Billy and the Tulane Minute's about to come on right now. You're gonna stay on and listen, and we'll bring you back on.
Okay. All right. We'll
All right.
figure out what we're gonna wager.
All right.
Oh,
Take him out. Take him out. Let's bring in Tulane Billy. Let's bring out the Tulane Minute right here. All right. Tulane Billy. All right. Tulane Minute.
The
All right.
Tulane Minute has started.
It is started right now. 60 seconds. Go, Tulane Billy.
All right. First of all, I want to say Vegas is wrong. 3.5, ridiculous. I look towards Latoya. Okay. Latoya says 10.
The Destroyer?
Latoya the Destroyer is on board at 10. She says Vegas is wrong. I'm willing to go Sam 7 points. 7 points. I want 2 minutes for the Tulane. 2 minute. Tulane 2 minute.
No.
No. That's part of my wager. That's part of my wager.
Okay.
All right.
It rolls off the tongue, I'll be honest. 2 minute Tulane.
2 minute Tulane. That sounds great.
We should have 2 minutes. I mean, Willie Fritz is doing the job. We're back on campus.
You have 10
seconds. We got guys able to park at their condos, live in their condos. I mean, we're back on. Last week, little hiccup. I mean, SEC powerhouse. They're going to take down. Ole Miss going to take down Alabama. I mean, that's no doubt. I mean, I see that.
Hey, speaking of Alabama, have you what do you have to say about River City's total maintenance?
Oh, Lucas, I love Lucas. I mean, A+ service. Called them up. I said, I need y'all to look at a couple condos. I mean, they got out there. I mean, Lucas Ragusa. I mean,
appreciate that. Tulane Minute. The minute is up. Tulane Billy, we appreciate all of his exports. We appreciate River City's total maintenance. He's done a great job with us.
The damn camera so close to
all right.
his face.
So with that, we are bringing on our next guest, which is going to be none other than
what a packed show.
Steven Stingray. How are you doing, Steven? You hear us okay?
I'm doing good, guys. Hope y'all are.
We are good. I appreciate the short notice of this. Obviously, it's LSU Mississippi State week, so we wanted to bring you on if we could. So what are your thoughts on the game this week? Kind of wanted to get you on and kind of talk about Mississippi State this year. And are you going to be at the game this weekend?
Unfortunately, I'm not. I've got something to do on Saturday. Now, if it was a later game, like, say, maybe in the spot that Alabama and Southern Miss was, then yes, I could go to that game. But unfortunately, 11 o'clock kick, I'm not going to be able to make the trip over there to Starkville. But I would love to go. I just can't.
He's going to be hungover.
You're going to be hungover, Steven? I know. That's
no,
exactly
not at all.
That wasn't me. That was Zach.
Okay.
So what about this? What about the game this weekend? What are you thinking is going to be the case as far as LSU's defense trying to match up with the Mississippi State offense? Obviously, was an issue last year.
It was a big issue last year, and you really don't know how Mike Leach is going to have his team together, and especially after he felt like that they didn't play as mature enough as Memphis did last week. Those were his words. And then he said, now, I don't know exactly what plays more mature means, but we're going to find that out. So Mike Leach is always the one there with the awesome press conferences, but you really don't know what team is actually going to show up. I mean, this team, Mississippi State, could come out there and shock everybody and beat LSU by 2 or 3 touchdowns. Or they could come out there and drop a goose egg like they did against Louisiana Tech and, lose to LSU. So we really don't know, but I will say this. A lot of Mississippi State fans are at this point pissed off at Mike Leach for his no excitement on the sidelines and not even questioning the calls last week against Memphis. a lot of Mississippi State fans want Leach fired. They need to pump the brakes a little bit because the transition zone that Mike Leach has been at Texas Tech and at Washington State, the first 2 years were atrocious. Then Mike Leach got his guys in there, and everything started to work. Now, real quick, let me also say this. The reason that the air raid is not working series by series is because of this issue right here. Mike Leach is still working with Joe Moorhead's offensive lineman. You cannot turn a 350 pound lineman into an air raid style offense overnight. It's just not going to work. So give him 1 or 2 more recruiting cycles to go out there and get his guys for the offensive line for the air raid offense, and it will work at Mississippi State.
Stingray's done his homework.
I mean,
he does. I mean,
Stingray's done his homework.
well, and then I'm looking at Stingray right here. Okay, you got an Oklahoma State shirt on. Explain yourself a little bit.
I am a huge Mike Gundy fan. I have always been a Mike Gundy fan ever since the famous "I'm a man, I'm 40, come after me." I was like,
there you go. Yeah, anniversary was yesterday of that.
Yeah. That guy cares about his players. He is a player's coach. I've always been a fan of Gundy. I've always been a fan of Oklahoma State. And I'll be honest with you, whenever I watch Oklahoma State, and whether they're at home or on the road, whenever they score a touchdown, I always throw my hands up and do this every time they score a touchdown because I think that's awesome. And I will tell you, Boone Pickens Stadium is definitely on my bucket list of a stadium I want to go to, as well as Death Valley Tiger Stadium.
You've never been to Death Valley?
No, but I want to.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Got to make that happen.
We'll do that next year for sure.
Yes.
You're a VIP of us.
But here's what I want to know, though.
Mm-hmm.
This is what irks me a little bit.
Okay.
How can a school like Clemson copy you guys and say that they're the Death Valley when they don't even have a decent conference? Their conference is atrocious this year. And they almost got beat by the Yellow Jackets last week. I never really understood how Clemson is Death Valley. We all know that Tiger Stadium at LSU is the real Death Valley.
I feel like you're placating to our audience right
Actually,
now, Stingray.
Zach needs to talk about this because I remember at the championship game they played a video of you saying you said something about it. Like
I did.
What was it again?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Something
exactly.
about like we have a tiger on campus or something like that.
It was something like that. I did have a good answer. I don't remember what it was, but I had a couple of them that were on the big board in the Superdome. But what I was going to say, it was good. What I was going to say is I think we decided who the real Death Valley was on January 13th, 2020.
Yes.
That was the game that decided that answer, in my opinion.
And I'll say this too. And no, I'm not playing to your fan base, but here's the deal.
It sounded like you were.
Right. I know, but here's the deal, though. Think about this. Does Clemson even have a record of an earthquake game on their campus?
They do.
Never wrong.
That's all I'm going to say.
And have you seen their mascot tiger? It looks like a methed out tiger.
It does.
Yes.
A methcot.
Yeah.
Methcot.
I would like to say publicly that LSU is firmly against meth.
Yes.
So,
Livingston
for sure. Well, Baton Rouge is firmly against. Outside of Baton Rouge, we can't say the same.
Yeah, Livingston.
But
we don't speak for them.
okay,
they would like to have a word.
So, all right, Stingray, I follow you on Twitter for sure, and I've seen you guys have a podcast now, correct? Like you have
Yes.
a good podcast. I've seen a lot of good guests on your show, and I've also seen some weather reports. So tell us about your passion right now with weather, and also the podcast going forward.
Well, as a matter of fact, down there you say weather enthusiast, and as a matter of fact, I actually have some news. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but earlier this fall, I was actually admitted and accepted, and I've actually started my degree at Mississippi State University in broadcast meteorology. And within 2 years, and I'm doing it all online. So within 2 years, I will not only be Stingray, but I will also be meteorologist Stephen Ray.
Wow,
You'll be Dr. Stingray.
Change him to Storm Ray.
Storm Ray.
Yes.
Have you thought about that?
Storm Ray.
The rebrand.
No,
We're
that was actually the first time.
We're a bunch
I've
of marketing guys over here, so
Storm Ray.
Print the shirts.
Credit
Print
to us.
the shirts.
Yeah, you need to credit us whenever that happens. That's awesome. I really like that. Go ahead.
So
William, you got
Stingray, what's the craziest storm or like weather event that you've seen in your life?
Probably when I stayed in Orange Beach and I rode out Hurricane Danny back in 96, I think it was. It was not a well-known storm, but it is to the people of the areas down there in Orange Beach and Mobile, because basically it sat in Mobile Bay and just basically meandered around and circled around for about 5 days. And so it was a Category 1, but I can say that I have been in a hurricane before, and that was the most boring I've ever been in because the rain just would not let up.
Yep. We had something similar in Baton Rouge where we had a tropical depression just sit over us, and you probably know that. But and that was in 2016, the Great Flood. But man, that was just not, like you said, boring was probably a great word. It was very depressing. Like you're just like,
just like
when is this going to be done? You know?
Yeah. And I can't imagine trying to basically ride out or even be there for Hurricane Sally last year that basically hit Gulf Shores and Orange Beach moving at 2 miles per hour. Or I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. So, all right. Next thing I wanted to talk to you about was Paul Feinbaum. Obviously, you have been you were a guest on Paul Feinbaum's show for quite a long time. Tell us about your experiences with that and like how that kind of like catapulted you a little bit in the fandom. Obviously, you gained a lot of popularity with that. How was that for you?
It was amazing. But I do realize that I did a lot of that the wrong way. And if I could go back, I would do it differently. But yes, that was a really awesome experience and something I would do again in a heartbeat.
Awesome.
And especially the Daniel Tosh thing. Now, yeah, that kind of made me go sideways a little bit with Mississippi State. But I mean, being able to go out to LA and actually meet Daniel Tosh and be interviewed and talk to him for 4 hours was something of a lifetime. So I would do it all over again.
I have not seen that.
I have not either.
I know. I did not know.
I haven't seen that.
We'll drop the link to that.
I gotta see the link.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
It was November the 7th of 2017 is when it aired. So
Daniel Tosh.
He was pretty awesome. Yeah. He was pretty awesome, one-on-one. And he honestly was not a jerk in real person. That is just his character and persona on TV. But basically, when he's talking off camera, it's just kind of like you guys and me right now. hey, how you doing? Thank you for coming out here. What's it like in Mississippi? Yada, yada, yada.
Right.
And, Daniel Tosh, I'll be honest with you, Daniel Tosh, when he gets into that persona, he can really make hash out of you. And I actually thought he did a good job. And that was a well done interview about me. And It wasn't really a knock on me at all.
For sure.
So,
did he get you to do the cowbell or anything like that on there?
yes, he did, yes.
Okay.
And actually, believe it or not, the most awesome thing about it was he actually sculpted a statue of me and presented it to me on the skit.
Do you have it?
No, they were going to try to send it to me, but it was too much. So they've got it out there in storage.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to get that over to you. I know. We had to video that, if anything.
Yes.
All right. So do you have a cowbell in front of you at all? You have a cowbell near you?
Yeah, I do.
It's always in an arm's reach.
I know you have one. All right. So, all right. Give us your big cowbell. Give us a little bit of Stingray, LSU, Mississippi State. What's going to happen this weekend?
Score prediction, yeah.
Yeah, we need a score as well.
Do it, yeah.
We're going to give ours.
Man, I honestly don't know. Just simply because you don't know what team is going to show up for LSU. You don't know if it's going to be the team that beat Central Michigan, or if it's going to be the team that lost to UCLA. And the team that lost to UCLA, that was not a good showing for Coach O. But if it's the Central Michigan team, then definitely Mississippi State's got a dogfight.
Yep. I agree with all that. So you got to make a prediction here. You got to make it. I'm not letting you off the hook. You tried to play both sides. I'm not going to let that happen. You've got to make a prediction. Let's get a score.
All right, let me get my thoughts together. Give me like 30 seconds, and then.
All right.
And then
Okay. Yeah.
We can do our score predictions
Yeah.
in 30 seconds.
Yeah. You want to do ours? Okay.
I gave a touchdown extra. I was going to go 27-24, but now I'm going 34-28.
34-28 LSU. Okay.
Yeah, I was 35-21, and I'm actually just like Zach. It's now 35-28.
35-28. William.
35-31.
35-31.
LSU backdoor.
Okay. So so that's a high score. I got 31-24 LSU.
You're staying
I've been
put.
pretty firm on this one all week.
You don't care that Stingley's out.
I do not care that Stingley's out. I actually am relishing young guys playing.
That's swagger.
It is swagger. Big moxie.
Yeah.
Big moxie out of the young guys.
All right, what we got?
And honestly, I'll speak a little bit more to that. The 24 points, I feel like this is Durante Jones. He's earning his pappies this week. Durante Jones is going to. They've been thinking about this game all year long. He's got to hold the guys down. I think that's what's going to happen this week.
Dude, that would be such a good T-shirt.
It would. Earn the pappies. Earn my pappies, Durante. Oh. Yes. All right, Stingray, we got you.
So, obviously, last year, Mississippi State went down to LSU, game number 1 for Mike Leach in the air raid. And he air raided all over the LSU defense and the LSU Tigers. Now, this year, same players, same coaches. Now, they come up to Starkville for an early kickoff. Now, will that make a difference? Who knows? But hey, we got the Pirate on our side. We got the Cowboy, Mr. Will Rogers, and a whole bunch of other receivers and running backs that are going to just run all over the LSU defense once again. So I just have one question for all of the people involved with LSU, the LSU team, and especially you, Coach O. What you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do when Mississippi State, the Cowboy Will Rogers, the air raid, and ARG, the pirate Mike Leach, air raids all over you again on Saturday and embarrasses you in Davis Wade Stadium.
A monologue.
All right, Stingray. Perfect. That's what I was wanting out of you, Steven.
I think
All
I
right.
want to change my score prediction.
No dice. No dice. You can't change it. We
Mississippi
appreciate
State
you.
money line.
Stingray, we appreciate you coming on for sure. We'll bring you back on for maybe some basketball, baseball as well. I know baseball is huge for Starkville,
Yes.
so definitely want to bring you on for that. We appreciate. I know it's short notice. We appreciate you coming
You're
on.
fine. And listen,
We appreciate you guys.
real quick, can
Go
I
ahead.
tell everybody how they can follow me and how they can do my show? Okay. All right. So here recently, I have become a part owner of another YouTube channel, and it's called the CTS Interview Room. And we have a brand new show called Third and Three. And it's myself and a Clemson internet sensation and an Alabama fan. And we go back and forth and we argue and fight. And it's kind of like basically a fun SEC, Alabama, and Clemson, pardon my take, episode. And you can find it on YouTube. It's called Third and Three, and it's on the CTS Interview Room, which is also right there on YouTube.
Love that.
Great.
So we'll post that as well. I
we'll keep that
appreciate it,
information
Stingray. And
Yes.
everybody can check you guys out at Stingray30 on Twitter as well.
Stephen
so,
Ray.
Stephen Ray. I'm
Stephen
sorry.
Ray, yeah, Stephen Ray
sorry.
30.
Stephen
Apologies.
Ray 30, yes.
Yeah, Stephen Ray 30. We appreciate it, man. We will contact you soon, and maybe we'll tweet at you after the game. We'll figure out who wins this game. Maybe there's something on the line. We'll figure it out.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, y'all be good. And as always, enjoy your college football, and God bless, my friends.
Absolutely.
right.
Thank you, Stephen.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Talk to you soon. Steven Stingray. That was fantastic.
That monologue was great.
That was great.
It was electric.
It was awesome.
That
It
was
awesome.
electric. That was
I agree with Will. I
that's-
was going to give them more points in my score
Yeah,
prediction.
you
because of
were
that.
you were
I was like, man,
energized, right?
Yeah.
maybe Stingley
Yeah.
being out is really gonna hurt. I don't know.
yeah, maybe more than I thought.
I'm not thinking
he
about
was
Anthony.
about to go with Mississippi State. Probably you were, William. I'm actually about to put more on LSU, so that's what that did. We appreciate all of our guests tonight. We're gonna wrap it up right here. Big shout out to some of our sponsors. I know we showed some of the commercials, but Fred's Bar in Baton Rouge been a huge sponsor of ours. So we had a huge tailgate this past weekend. We've done it for the last 2 weekends.
And for game day for Saturday, we're gonna have some questions at Fred's for the game day watch party. They're gonna have a big truck out front with the big screen and watching the game, Mississippi State. It'll be 11 a.m. But
yeah, we'll be out here probably at 10:30.
Yeah.
We'll start going out there. We're
Yep.
gonna ask some questions
Yep.
at 10:30. Maybe we'll be out there a little bit after the game as well. We'll see.
For sure, yeah. Y'all come out and see
we gotta
us.
wait till people have more mimosas or whatever.
Absolutely.
Bloody Marys,
Screwdrivers.
screwdrivers. There you go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have a lot of screwdrivers.
I ordered a mimosa on accident the other day, and the dude looked at me like I was a crazy person. Why the fuck do you want a mimosa? It's 12:30 at night.
Yeah, go to our social media pages. You're gonna see all of the Fred's videos from this past weekend. So we appreciate those guys. They've been fantastic with us. Also, Relief Pools in Baton Rouge. Ben Landry, I talked to him the other day. He is all the way. He can't even take a sales call until November, but people are still booking with him, and it's because he does quality work. So call Relief Pools, get on the books now. You can get on for the winter time, which is actually the best time to put a pool in. So get with them now, reliefpools.com. Also, Bocock Cigars, they've been fantastic with us. They're going to be in for the Auburn weekend. We're going to be at their tailgate as well. So Doug and Brian are doing fantastic work. They're based out of Houston, but they are LSU grads. So do get your cigars from LSU grads. They would love to do business with LSU people.
Jack and I smoked a Bocock on the
You did.
golf course yesterday.
Yeah, well, you
we
said
posted it on the gram. for
Yeah,
sure.
but
So-
you
I like to call
texted
it-
us and you said y'all got cocks in your mouth.
Cocks in the mouth.
I call it smoking cocks.
Smoking
Yeah.
cocks.
Smoking
Um,
cocks.
Great
and-
cigars,
Right.
especially on a golf course.
They are. They really are. And I've told you this. I actually
The iced latte.
Well, I told you this. I told you this the other day. The one that's on the screen right now, that's a Connecticut blend. I actually had one today with a hot coffee today.
Hot coffee.
Switching it up.
Unbelievable.
Well, because it's sweater weather now.
Yeah, because it's cool outside.
Right.
It was unbelievable. I'm telling you, you have to smoke the cigar with some coffee at like 10:30, because I know like before 10 you feel like you're ridiculous smoking a cigar, but like 10:30, 11 o'clock,
10:05.
lunchtime, afternoon or like an afternoon coffee, that'll be even better. So
Yeah.
you could do that with one of those cigars. Last but not least, we got Bogies in Baton Rouge. We appreciate those guys. They've been the OGs for us. Bogies, man, that was a big deal when I was in school, bro. So I don't know, you spent some time at Bogies, huh?
Oh yeah, back in the
There's a lot of,
Odell,
like-
Jarvis.
There's
all
a lot
those
of
20
undercover stories about
11, 12, 13, even 14 days for sure.
There's some stories about Bogies that people don't want to tell.
I would imagine.
Yes, there's a lot
I
of
would
those. So Bogies, we appreciate those guys for always sponsoring us. So with that, it's been a great show tonight. We had Patrick Michelson on with Bank of England Mortgage. We appreciate their sponsorship, and then can't thank Tulane Billy enough for coming on the
Great
Tulane
guy.
Minute, and then
2-minute Tulane. I think I like it.
2-minute Tulane.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got to get a ring.
Steven
Sure.
Stingray on the show. That was fantastic. So we'll put some of those clips out. So we appreciate you guys. LSU, that's me. 31-24 LSU. I'm just calling it right now. We're gonna put our thumb on those guys.
We're gonna put our thumb on them and win by 7 points.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm not crazy.
Right.
So again, thank for everybody. William, Zach, me, Jack over here. Jack, birthday boy yesterday. Zach, birthday boy tomorrow.
Yep.
So we're gonna be a great weekend for LSU football.
Yeah, y'all come see us at Fred's Saturday.
Fred's
for, the
for
game.
sure.
Yeah.
We'll have it out. So again, one team, one podcast.
Logging out.